Hey, here we go. Good morning. Good morning, friends. Good morning, Mr. Haas. Yes, sir. Good morning indeed. We are here today to celebrate the guitar once again. One more time together. So we have this really nice thing in the morning where we, let's see, if you're just new here, where we wake up in the morning and we just kind of jump on the internet and work on guitar stuff, you know, so just work on guitar warm-ups, work on guitar breathing, work on guitar technique, work on some songs occasionally. Today, it's likely that we will continue on with our journey into Moody River, where there's a really cool finger styling technique toward the end of the session. So we'll likely warm up with that. We'll just get our fingers, because there's a pretty lengthy process to approach this finger style, this finger stretching technique. We'll likely incorporate some additional finger stretching techniques this morning, right, and benefit from that for certain. So let me go ahead and get this camera, this camera angled correctly. And I think that's about as good as it's going to be for today. We have some sleet and rain today. Oh, the wind and rain. So what a great song. Something about two sisters coming down the stream. Oh, the wind and the rain. Do you know that? You familiar with that song? A string this morning. We'll go ahead and set our intention for this morning ritual, and this could be something specifically for you. It could be guitar related, it could be life related, it could be any other thing. But basically, we're working on getting our minds set and our intention or prayer, if you will, for this morning session. So just taking a second to set that up. Again, it could be just anything to benefit you, or just being thankful for having the time. Whatever it might be. So hopefully that's set. We can go right along to the open A string. And I see a couple blue wrenches on here, which means Kevin Haas is with us. Good morning, Kevin. Raul. Good morning, Raul. Finger exercise expert over there. Boy, your right hand is like your picking hand. Sorry, your left hand. Your picking hand is just looking amazing, dude. You're like using the index, middle ring, and pinky on your fretting or your picking hand. That is just great work. And Robbie Smith, good morning. Good morning, Robbie. I tried to find the yoga, BK yoga. I found a few different ones, so I don't know if she's working with trauma. Is she the one working with trauma-informed youngsters or trauma-informed juveniles? If so, then I found it, but I'm not sure I found the right one. So maybe you could help me out with that a little bit. Good morning, Sky. Good morning, Sky. You're here this morning. Perfect. Bernard, good morning. It's really amazing to me to see, know how busy life is, and that people still take the time, guitar players, guitar practitioners still take the time to practice the guitar and carry the torch. It's just amazing to me. I guess it's, it's like space travel or any other discipline, any other science. So the A string is here. That's in tune. Checked it already this morning. But the D string is not. Good morning, Anthony. Good morning, Mark. Good morning, Mr. Torello. I'll just check it we'll go ahead and check with the old 5th fret and 7th fret harmonic, and you can't see that. You can't see what's going on here, can you? Let me turn this around. So, frets 5 on the A string and fret 7 on the D string. It's likely that you already know this one. I usually double check it with the fret 5. I try to stay away from actually pressing the frets down when I tune, because I can introduce extra tension. As soon as I press the string from a resting position, I add tension to the string, and then it's not perfect. Right now you can hear that fret 5 is supposed to be the same as the open D string. This is supposed to be a reference tune, a reference pitch for the open D string, which it is. But you can hear there's not a, you can hear there's a little bit of a fluctuation there, a little bit of a wave, so we wanted to correct that. I'm going to rough it in with my ears. To come back and fine tune it. So when I use harmonics, this one is pretty close. Something about it though is not working for the open position, right? There we go, we're a little flat. So we'll correct that. We'll make those little micro corrections. Everybody's doing well today. I took a poke down there at the likes. We've already got 10 likes. That's great. So if you're here and you haven't yet smashed that like button, double tap the screen, or you could like smash the like button if you want. I think we're just about there, just about in tune. We're pretty close to in tune right here. So let's go ahead and call it. We'll call it close enough. No, we won't. Now we will. Oh, internal resolution. Ear expects to hear the outward resolution of the 4 descending to the 3 and the 7 ascending to the 1. But that tritone can also do perform an inward resolution, so we can use that outward resolution to resolve 4 to 1 or 4 to 3 and 7 to 1, or this is just a really cool, just sort of an aside here, and then this could also function as the 7 to 1 or the 4 to the 3. And this is one way that we can skirt around from key to key. So really interesting thing, that tritones, those tritones are really something else. So here's that. Same tones, totally different outcomes. All right, here we go. Talking about different outcomes. Here we're starting with fingers 3 and 4 on frets 10 and 12, or 11 and 12. Here we go. We'll start with the contiguous frets here. One E and a 2 and a T and a O and a... Good morning, Scott. Mr. Sterling's in the house with that beautiful Dreamcaster. Mark's in the house with the red rig. Good morning. Robbie Smith, good morning. Oh, Jill, did I say good morning to you yet, Jill? Good to see you. Good to see you. And we're just working through this process of just getting through the morning stuff. I have a feeling I'm going to switch laps early. So we're going to go from this. I'm on my right lap right now, and I'm going to switch to my left lap just in a few minutes because I can feel that my body's telling me I really should be on the other channel here. Okay, all right. But just to let you know that it's okay to just move around frequently. We have to lock ourselves in. I have a friend who plays. We did the math, and over the past decade, he's played over 1 billion notes because of how much he plays every day and what kind of notes he shreds every day. And we did the math, and it was like I told MIT about him, and he's played over 1 billion notes or something like that. It was some stupid number, 1 E and a 2 E and a, not a stupid, but incredibly unbelievable number. So 2 and 3 frets 10, 11 and 12, 1 E and a 2 and a T E. There's more to that story. So he shows up in the studio and he's like, we're laying down some tracks, or he's laying down some tracks, and I'm capturing the tracks, and then he's just a smoking high guitar player, and I see him like he's got his left foot, instead of bringing a stool, he uses his left foot, bends his ankle, puts his right foot on the left foot as it's bent, and then just kind of uses that as his way to access additional height so he can get the guitar positioned where he needs it to be. And he'll sit like that and play like that for 3 hours and he won't stop and break, he won't eat, and then he just gets up and he's injured himself every time. So you can only imagine what kind of damage that does without moving, right? So I just wanted to draw that to your, to continue to bring it to the top of mind for my own personal, because it's an easy thing to overlook, right? All right, so here we go. 1 E and fingers 1 and 2, 11 and 12. Here we go. Yeah, Raul's like, I'm trying. He's actually doing. You're actually doing. It looks great. Effort is everything. Intention set. Good. Lack of effort. No deposit, no return. Good morning, Justin. Good morning. Guitar for everyone. Good morning. I've been watching you play too. Everyone's looking great. Everyone's looking really great on the guitar, and I think we're having an exceptional 2025. Anybody writing any songs at the moment? Anybody doing any of that work? I found myself a podcast last night until around 11. Wow. You were on a podcast. That sounds pretty cool. I'd like to see that or hear that. Last night Ted Green taught me an E minor chord to die for. Good thing we've been doing these exercises. I feel the same way. Man, you think I just hit a couple last week or whatever in his book, like chapter or whatever, section 8, chord reference charts, and it's just a bear. It's a bear, and some of those chords that Anthony's talking about are just like, you'd think you'd need to lay a step ladder, an extension ladder out horizontally so that you can bridge the gap from one finger to the next, like you're climbing over some crevasse or something, So it's really impressive what this has done for my own personal gain, and it sounds like Anthony's definitely on fire. He's playing guitar like a madman. So 1 E and a 2 fingers 3 and 4 and 10 and 12. Here we go. And if you're just tuning in, you found yourself in a pretty good place, I think. And at least I found myself in a pretty good place. I'm here with the guitar again. I woke up, number one. I'm here with the guitar again with some internet friends. And I'm really excited about, I can't, it's hard to explain, but I'm as excited about the guitar today as I've ever been in my lifetime. And I'm not sure what it is. I think this is a big year for me, period. It's a big year, and we'll get into that a little bit later as we progress through the year. But it's a big year, I think, for everyone. 2025, good marker, great landmark, good one to tag, and we're all part of it. We've got to change up the seating arrangement here. Just getting this adjusted for comfort and minimize workplace injury. So let's just kind of get this rolling. We did fingers 2. I'm really stalling for fingers 2 and 3. You know that this is my band. So fingers 2 and 3 on frets 10 and 12, 1 E and a 2, and here we go. Sato, Ronan, that's really cool. Oh, Mauricio, good morning. Hey, Jude, the Beatles. Oh, so we're calling for requests, song requests. Yes, good idea. Wonderful songs. What I'm working on right now is I'm suffering through a finger warm-up, and I do not wish to mislead you. If you are here expecting to hear songs, what you've actually walked into, what you've scrolled into is a morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm here every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time to just work through these things. If you're a guitar enthusiast or a guitar practitioner yourself, you can join us. It's free, and it's really a good, healthy thing to be doing, I've found. We can do it in unhealthy ways, but we'll continue to maintain a healthy approach. 1 E and a 2. T, 1 and 2, 10 and 12. There we go, and we're off. But occasionally, I do take the occasional request for songs. I do take those. More specifically, we have members-only live streams that are really cool, and we do a lot more of that kind of thing there. But we do occasionally take those requests here, and sometimes they'll fit right into what we're doing for warm-ups, and that works great. That's even better. And I appreciate you being here. I really appreciate you taking the time to commit your voice to live chat. I do. So I worked on a friend last night is really into this iRacing program. I don't know if you probably all know about it, and I'm just learning about it, but he was in a big race yesterday or the day before and came in 3rd out of 25, but I guess it's a big race. He wins prize money and stuff like that. So professional drivers emerge out of this iRacing situation, which I had no idea about, but it's kind of an interesting situation, and I think practicing that way is every bit as valid as what we do here today. So I feel like I need to just give it a good stretch. So straight elbow, and let me take a glance through some of these. Has anybody checked out the band Feel? Not yet. Southern Fried Zeppelin. Ooh, cool. Oh, new songs coming. Oh, very cool. I'm excited for that. Canadian metalheads, violently headbang in approval. Very nice. Sato, hi. Love it. Oh, I'm supposed to be stretching here. Little brown jug, that's cool. Cool handle. What can I do about hand fatigue, wrist cramps? So we're doing it right now. I hope you're sticking around, little brown jug. That's very cool. And then I do 15 clicks. You can hear the metronome is set for 60 beats per minute. Just like going to church, you know what you're going to expect. There's a consistency, a constant involved with this morning ritual tempo. And so I don't disappoint. I keep that tempo set at 60. And what I do over the span of the day, I migrate up to 70, 80, 90, 100, you know, $1.20, and then, you know, and then in some cases, I just released a song called The Flow. It's actually a different title, but I just released a song called The Flow, and it's got some, you know, really cool, it's a bluegrassy flat picker type song, but it's of course it's called The Flow, so it's named after a major river that I've canoed several times, and it's done a 17-mile stretch. Anyways, it's a really great little song, but I forget where I was going with that. I'll come back to it circumtangentially. So there's the idea is that it's I guess the tempo with that song, where I was really going with it, is $1.34. So I get up to that, you know, peak tempo for the middle of the day, afternoon, and then what I'll do is I'll kind of wind it back down to 60 before bedtime, and just really try to get that mindfulness and turn it all off before I hit the rack. And if I hit the rack with all of this stuff going on at $1.34, $1.20, it won't work. You know, I'll wake up like I did last night at 2 and just sit there and think I better get up on the email and go finally get that email fired off to Anthony. So, but they're busy days. They're busy days for sure. So we want to just make sure that I'm focused. I remain focused on the task at hand. And the task at hand is now we're using fingers 2, 3, and 4 on 10, 11, and 12, but we're quickly going to get through this. We'll use 4 attacks per beat still here. Okay, 4 attacks per beat, and I'll go ahead and start now. 1 and 2 and a T and a 4. I'm going to be a little bit more assertive with my right and my picking hand here. So I'm really working on getting some, you know how I'm usually like Mr. Ginger here, but I really want to get some experiment with what happens if I give it some volume. Does my guitar sag? Do the strings sag, or do the, you know, is the action just right? Is it high enough where I can do all of this work without, and give it some grief without getting some buzzy feedback from it? Yeah, and it seems to be doing pretty well so far. If the action's so high that it's unplayable, it's a little bit of a give and take here, isn't it? But it's all sounding pretty clean, and what I'm trying to do is get each note exactly at the same loudness level. Too. So I'm learning like the picking limitations of my instrument, like the dynamic loudness level before I start to really like hurt the instrument. Not hurt it, but just abuse it. 1 E and a 2, fingers 1, 2, 3, 10, 11, 12. Here we go. So we'll just go through this I'm going to explore the full dynamic range by playing ghost notes. Play 5s, like groups of 5s, like superimposed over the 4 here. Tell me a little story. It's just really the simple stuff that really gets me. The melody is so simple to overlook. You know, it's so simple to overlook, and it's like a composition with, you know, when I'm starting a composition with a blank page, you know, I sort of have to provide ourselves with our own sort of like compositional limitations. Otherwise, the melody could go anywhere. And pretty soon, you know, soon we're in a Wagnerian opera, and it's 3 hours later, and we end nowhere near the tonic. And you know, the audience just sort of like, do they feel satisfied? I don't know. I think they do. Yeah, they've been on a journey. So we could go anywhere we want, and literally quite anywhere we want. So we're using fingers. Let's get back to the 2-finger exposure here. So I'm using finger. Let's see how far we can get with this 2-fret spread between fingers 3 and 4. Let's overwork, talk about abuse. Let's overwork fingers 3 and 4 this morning. If you want to join me, this is going to be good. I'm assuming I won't get all the way down to position 1 with this, but I'm using fingers 3 and 4 on frets 9 and 12. This is something that we typically reserve for fingers 1 and 3. So we usually introduce a finger skip between this, but right now we're using contiguous fingers. So let's try it. 1E and a 2 and a TE and a 4, 9 and 12. Oh, feels a little stretchy here, but it's good. It's going to be good for the soul. I'm already reaching my limitation. Yeah, that's it. So hello to the tennis ball between the fingers tonight. A little duct tape, a little Gorilla Tape, and a tennis ball ought to pay some dividends. 1E and a 2 and a TE, 2 and 3, same thing. This is definitely not my, it's not like a strength, it's not playing to my strengths doing this. So fingers 1 and 2, again, same exercise. I'm going to peter out probably at about the same spot. 1E and a 2 and a TE and a 4. Oh, there we go. I'm going to need another stretch after this one. It's in vain. So let's go ahead and just breathe. I think I'm going to shake that one out, give it another few minutes before I get a good stretch in. We'll start with fingers 2 and 4 again. Stretch on 9 and 12. So 1E, let's do 5s. 1, 2, 1, ding, 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 ding. Here we go. Oh, let's check it out. We've got Jimmy Norris. Jimmy, what's going on? When some good weed comes, so this is how you are when some good weed comes. Funny. That's good. They call me Uncle Jason. All right. Raul, when did you install a thumb rest on your guitar? Did you install a thumb rest on your guitar? Yeah, that's right. Good question. Mateo does that. It seems committed to his fingerstyle. Congrats. All right, Mark. I'm missing some of this stuff, I think. Play some Slayer. Yeah, that's about all I'm going to be able to do for time this morning, but I appreciate that sentiment for sure. Riley, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. If you're just tuning in, all right, there's nothing here that's pressing. I'm just going to just keep going, I think. Funksel, hey, we've got some new faces here this morning. This is great. Oscar Novo can play another brick in the wall. That's great. Which one? A lot of artists talk about channeling. The songs are in the air, just grab them. Yeah, some people talk like that. These are tough. They are tough. I'm with you, Mark. More instruments these days than lyrics, but for me, the instrumentals have always come before the lyrics. Me too, Mark. Can't do that one. Yeah, me too. I can barely do it. Raul used a pick. All right. A few stretching, which has really improved since joining Jason's more. Oh yeah, really great, man. I'm happy to be part of it. I wanted to watch One Weekend with Mateo. Christoph, good morning. Got a total hack anyway. Ted Green, happy spring. Happy indeed. And welcome to these new faces. Like if you're here, just I wanted to remind myself what we're actually doing. We're actually working on a morning ritual, so I'll get going. It's not watch Jason review comments in the live chat. So 1 E and a 2 E and a D E and a O, go. And here we are, we're off and running again. That was a nice little breath break. Back at it. Really working the finger stretches this morning because I really want to add that melody. I want to get that melody down from Moody River. So we'll review that today, and then hopefully we'll get right back into the verse section of the song, because the verse section is, you know, where he says last Saturday evening. It's Chase, really great songwriter. It's a song about, you know, the waiting to meet the lady by the river, and then she never shows, and then it's sort of a sad song, but the melody is just so great, and it works itself out. It lends itself well to being rearranged for the acoustic guitar. Jason, I enjoyed playing Pink Floyd Freedom with your video last night. Oh, Freedom. I don't know if you call me a Floydite. I'm just a fan of good music. I'm into Pink Floyd. And I'm really into, like, the Division Bell album. Was that awesome or what? Fingers, and then that new David Gilmour album with Steve Gadd on the kit is just amazing. Like Luck and Strange. So fingers 1 and 3, frets 9 and 12. 1 E and a 2 and a T E and a fo. If you have like questions, like specific songs that you would love to work on that you think would be a good fit for this channel, in a curated sense, you know, because we like to produce curated videos, you know, lessons. So if you do have questions that you would like answered, whether it's a song, a particular piece of music, or a particular passage, or any segment of anything that you'd like to have straightened out, we love to do that, get engaged in that research and development. And, you know, so you can help inform our path forward, you know. So I think that the Leonard Skinner stuff, I have to say, we did Sweet Home Alabama, and I think I did another Tuesday's Gone or something, and one of the nephews of a member of the band was like started commenting on one of the videos, and I'm not really sure how that works out, but I know some songs really hit hard with some of us, you know, and so if you have those songs, and I haven't done them yet on the channel, I've probably, I don't know, hundreds of videos or something like that. But if you go through and search for something, it's not there, let me know if it's something that you're really excited about, because I'd like to get excited about it too. Fingers, let's see, fingers 1 and 4. Let's go ahead and get that stretch here from, let's go back to 7 and 12. And we'll try to maintain that 1, 2, 3, 4 fret spread all the way down. I believe we did this yesterday, so we're just opening up the ground for a little bit more activity. I'd like to also play in some minor pentatonics if we have time, so I'm going to stop talking now. 1 E and a 2, and here we go. Oh yeah, all right. I see that, Raul, that's good. Those are good pieces of repertoire. I just shared your stream on Parlor. Oh, you did. Good thinking, man, thanks. 49 and a pound, roughly 60 euros, so that I don't like online courses so much. 50 quid. Good. anyway, so maybe Deadhead, but Pink Floyd's the greatest band ever. There you go. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. We made it. 1 E and a 2 and a T E and a Vo. The last I took was from Marty. Oh, Marty. Yeah, right on. Marty. Yeah, he's a good guy. Pretty excitable. I think he actually like enjoys what he's doing. Do you know what I mean? I think he like enjoys like having a new guitar in his hand all the time, a new amp on his, you know. I think he enjoys that. You know, who wouldn't enjoy like new gear? You know, I think the new gear is sometimes what happens to me with new gear is I really like to explore it. Like before I'll buy a shirt or a coat, like a Gore-Tex coat, I expect my purchases, I expect those things to last me a lifetime. I mean, I bought this thing in 1968 and I expected it to last. You know what I mean? I really expect the quality to be there. So I do a pretty sizable amount of research and inspection before I purchase anything. And then to purchase, like my Limmer boots, for example. I've had a pair of Limmer boots since 1998. There you go. It'll date me a little bit. And I've had them resold twice. And, you know, if you spend, let's say you drop $600, $700 for a custom pair of boots, and then you multiply that, divide that over the period of, you know, 20 years, so that's what, 25, 30 years now or something like that. They're not that expensive, you know? And they fit like little leather gloves on my feet. So it's great stuff. So I'm not so much a consumer as I am something else. I'm not really sure what is that. Maybe you can help me out with that. 1 E and a 2 E, a 3 and a 4, finger stretch 4, go. Same thing, fourth finger stretch. Got to get these stretches in. I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to jump over to quintuplets right here. So next position, when we drop down to position 7, we'll just get through this. Maybe we'll get to I'm still battling with this a little bit. Speeding up and slowing down. Quintuplets do that to me sometimes. Have you checked out Nicholas Slenimsky's Thesaurus of Melodic Scales and Patterns? That's a good one. You'd like that one, Raoul, I believe. You probably already know about it. Captain Destroy. Oh, Wicked Game. Is that, who's that? Which Wicked Game? Zeppelin Blues, I know I can't play. All right, so fingers 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll put the kickstand back. 1 E. Let's do sextuplet. So here, 1, 2, 3, go. Messy. Gwen, good morning. haven't seen Dan yet. Has anybody seen Dan? Did I say hi to Dan yet this morning? There we go. All right. So I think we're through. I've just got to get a quick stretch in. I wanted to play in some minor pentatonicism before pentatonicism. It doesn't have to be, it's not going to be minor because it's going to be a shape that we have not done yet. We've done the first one, you know, the 1, 4, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 3, 1, 4, 1, 4. We've done the major version, the next position up, 2, 4, 1, 4, 1, 4, 1, 3, 2, 4, 2, 4. Now we're up to the next one. So that's what we're playing today, all right? We'll just get the pentatonics underneath our fingers and really start to just grasp onto those and show them the love they deserve. So that way, in turn, we can develop a reciprocal relationship where they show us the love that we deserve. All right, so let's finish up with this stretch. Here we've got a really great stretch going on, and it's really encouraging this morning. This live stream, the chat this morning is really encouraging. It's very nice. It's really great to see others looking at other, you know, encouraging others to, you know, for other resources, additional resources to further the self and to further the self. And I think it's helpful to have a practice plan, like a game plan. I think it's helpful to identify where you want to go and then build. It's great. It's really nice and flattering to follow others, but it's also important to develop our own expertise in our own areas of interest or our own areas of operation. But I just want to say that to provide some balance here. Not that I'm, you know, I'm all over learning like anything Matteo Mancuso because it's cool, or anything anybody blah blah blah. But it's also cool to just try to internalize the thing that you want to do. Maybe it works to pray a little bit for guidance, you know, so pray for some wisdom, guitar wisdom. So we'll do that. Starting with minor pentatonic, we've done this shape. We've done the next shape up. Have we done the next shape above that? So I don't know if we've planed this one yet, have we? Let's start right here. Let's start right here on position number 10. We'll use fingers 1, 3. We'll have time to do this once through, and then we're jumping back over to only one note here on the G string. So pay careful attention to this. 1, 4, 1, 3 on the top. So 1, 2, or 1 and 3. I'll use fingers, and then 1, 3 again, and then 1, 3, and then stretch 4, which fourth finger is feeling really great these days. Then finger 1 on the G string. No, that's not finger 1, is it? Finger 3 on the G string on fret 12. That's the sole lonesome note on the G string. I know, I'm going to shed a tear later for it. I'll reserve a time specific for that later. So 1, 4, and then 1, 3. It's all position number 10. Root note would be here and here, right? If we are indeed surfacing, coming up for air on minor pentatonicism. So keep that in mind. Oh, know any Tony Rice? Hey, what's going on, Ty? Yeah, I know some Tony. I know some Mr. Rice. Absolutely. Let's see. Praying only ever helps. Jason. Good morning. Oh, cool shirt. Hey, it is a pretty cool shirt. It's got that, you know, organic cotton. It's one of those things that you pick. I got, you know, when I go to the store and I buy like a bunch of them, because if I like the shirt, I'll buy as many as I can afford at the moment and the same make, model, size, and all that stuff, and just keep them in the, you know, keep them in the old cupboard or whatever, the cabinet, until it's time to retire one and get the new one out. So I'll wear the same shirt for decades, you know. But anyway, once you inspect it, we're going to inspect this scale right here. So fingers 1 and 3. And if it's not comfortable for you right now, you can always come back and look at 45 minutes in, exactly 45 minutes in, once this publishes to the stream after we're done being live. You can go back and actually review this for your own personal gain and repetition in an on-demand situation. So 1 and 3, it's free, you know. Here we go. And 1 E and a 2, and T E and a 4. Mark's taking off. 1 E and a 2 Z, and I'm putting on my shoesies. Start sagging if you just give it too much. So there's a balance there somewhere that we'll find some way, somehow. All right, let's just flip the switch here and we'll jump over to just getting that thumb going again. And hopefully by now, in the next few days, we'll start developing some thumb calluses. You know, I'm not playing with usually I'll have fingernails and stuff for fingerstyle guitar. Not today. Today what I'm doing is I'm encouraging you to, number one, before I encourage you to do anything, if you're new here, I want to take just a hot minute to welcome you to the morning ritual for guitar growth. I'm here every single weekday morning. Yeah, that's right. That's correct. Totally correct. Good Lord willing. I'm here every single weekday morning at 7:30 Eastern Daylight Time, this time of year. And for the entire year, 2025. This is it's a huge year for me. This is a landmark, a watershed year for me personally. So I'm really appreciative of anyone who's along for the ride. And I'm assuming since you're here, you're with the guitar and just I'm working out that thumb pattern. I'm just really working the thumb. Super simple, but totally understated. I can feel myself building a callus right here. I'm at 60 beats per minute. And it's a little bit like riding a bike. I cannot get that bass line going. I cannot get that bass line to feel like anything unless I repeat this hundreds of times. And you know, maybe some others, maybe there's sort of the equivalent of Guitar Jesus out there somewhere just performing miracles. But there is for me, the on-ramp into things like this is, I remember when I first started this kind of thing, it took a lot to get the thumb to just do the right posturing, the right amount of palm muting, the right amount of what to do when there's no palm mute. Oh, scar tissue, yeah, very cool. What's up, Jason? I have a question. So, Duro, what is your favorite MF Doom album? Oh, I don't think I know who that is. You've stumped me. That's a good question. I'm going to have to check those guys out and report back. So, come back. I'm trying to talk through this thumb doing the synchronicity with the metronome. Now what I'm doing is just kind of keeping that yesterday, remember we talked about that pivotal tone. It's a pivotal tone. I just gotta ding the dogs here and say, hey, quiet down. Sometimes what will happen, occasionally what will happen is we'll have people walking down our road, my road, and the dogs are like not having any of that. So 1, 2, T, 4, here we go. I've got to take this B note and then lead into anticipate that next bar. Right, so that's really a big stretch for me. You know, it's my tiny little fingers, you know, it's kind of a big stretch. That beautiful E minor chord, I call it E minor. It's really like the sus4, and then the open, it's the 4, the 5, the flat 7, and then the open high E string on the top. But then we open it up to the open G string, so that does imply, it's implicative of the minor sonority, is it not? It is. So we have this G. G6, yeah, right? Any Louis Armstrong for great finish. But we have this we could alternate back and forth between the root note and the 5th of the chord. But I like to keep it just kind of simple for now. Right hand technique is just a little bit like, I like to keep that index, middle, and ring fingers. Once they're playing, I like to keep them sort of assigned to the G, the B string, and then the high E strings. You know what I mean? I like to keep those things sort of like stuck. And then with the exception. So, what I'll do is, before I even get to the song, I'll just work out these really cool, it's E minor anyway, so who cares, right? So we could just play the, you know, I can play any of the notes from G major scale or E relative minor. And I could just start working with playing the thumb, the index. The thumb's we already know what the thumb is going to be doing. I mean, we don't have to worry about the thumb's business now because we've repeated this so many times. That the thumb is just going to be an automated, it's going to be a bot. You know, we could turn it into a bot and just kind of deploy it to take down the busted government. So we've got this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So just thumb dropping the bomb on the E. And then the index finger is either going to grab the G string. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Flat 3. I could also play the 11 or the 4 or the 5 or the flat 5. I could play a song, but right now I am working on a song. Actually, it's called Moody River, but we're working on the fundamentals. I'm working on the fundamentals as I approach the song. So stick around, you'll like what's happening. So we got that thumb just dropping the bombs, flat 6, major 6 if you want that brighter sound, or flat 7 or major 7. Oh, don't let that thumb break from its pattern. That's a little bit like one bourbon, one scotch, and one beer, right? All before breakfast. So we can really have some fun just by playing the E note. I can play the G note, I can play together with the thumb, or offset from the thumb. just having a lot of fun just sitting here, right? Totally helpful for the things that we actually want to accomplish. Let's see if I can get it right. So it's going to be a little bit of a chore here because I'm kind of in the wrong posture for this. I'm asking my hands to stretch and then open up, open up the G string. So that open up the G string is that fourth finger needs to be arched up and over the G string right here so that the G string can wiggle underneath it. Another thing we could do is play that G note with the thumb. So thumb, and let me break this down to 1/4 note, so that way if you come back and you're looking for this at 56 minutes in, you can actually look at the 1/4 note breakdown. Let me just change this around so you can see my right hand. All right, here we go. You know what my left hand's doing here, so I don't need to share that with you. This is the first part of the lick. Then we get to this part of that's the thumb's not going to come up here. I've got to actually change. You see what's happening here? I've got to change, and this is an exception for that pattern. So that index and middle finger drop down to the 2 middle strings here. Good, I think we've got it. So we start the next piece of the melody with B7, right? We might have to get to this tomorrow. I think I might be rushing it a little bit. I'm just going to stay here right on. Just work this angle here until we get ready to finish for today. We're just about wrapped up. We've got about another minute left. Actually, do you have any questions about what's going on here? Let me just come back through and take a quick look. If you're here and you are just tuning in, I wanted to just thank you for joining us, and you've engaged with the morning ritual for guitar growth, and this is happening. It happens every weekday morning at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And this is a plan for the entire year. It's happening, we're taking the very first video that we recorded, and we're taking the last video that we will record, and we're going to compare the two and see what 260 hours of morning ritual practice time has done, how we've benefited, what have we gained, what have we learned, how are we feeling about our playing. There's a rubric that we're going to dial in and compare and contrast the first video and a year down the road after we've spent 260 hours together. So that's actually what's happening right now. And part of what I'd like to do, I'd love to just kind of drive all over the place and play song after song after song. In this forum, it would be, it'd be fun. I'd definitely probably get a lot more views, but I'm more specifically interested in continuity of product, right? So continuity of product. The product is being me. So I want to really focus on my breathing, me being in tune with the guitar, and then chromatically approaching the guitar for the purposes of warming up so that I can have a really productive guitar day. As a guitar practitioner, from one guitar practitioner to the next, we all invite you back. Kevin, I see you're taking off. Thank you, Kevin. That's my indicator that we are indeed finished for the morning. And from all of us as guitar practitioners to you, if you're brand new here and you'd like to bring your guitar tomorrow, we'll see you again tomorrow at the same time, same place. And until we meet again, I wish you all happy picking, and thank you so much for engaging here in the live chat.